to the Mindful Making podcast. This is a video podcast mostly about knitting, and it's a place to share the joy of creation and making. And knitting is my mindfulness practice. That's where I relax, and that's where I regenerate my energy. That gives me just a pause from the busyness of every day. So I hope you have your projects as well, and can sit down and enjoy approximately half an hour with yarn in your hands, maybe a bit of tea or coffee in your mug, or wine in the glass. You decide, but I hope you will just take this opportunity just to sit back, relax, and just breathe. So welcome, this is episode number 23. Today it is Sunday the 18th of October, and in the episode today we will talk about Cyrissa. So Cyrissa is the latest shawl pattern that I have released, and it would just be live on Ravelry either today when you see this podcast when it's released. So I'm planning to release on the 20th of October, and with a bit of editing of the video that would just be on the day when the pattern is released, hopefully. So Serissa Shawl you would hear much more about. You will get to meet Michelle, who is the designer behind the beautiful yarn that I've used, and then we will talk about other finished objects. I've done a test knit, and there is another shawl and some socks. So that's what you're in for, and then the work in progress, which is that would be a very short segment or session part of the work of the podcast. Sorry. And then at the end, I will talk a bit of what has happened in sort of my life since the last episode of the podcast. And during the video today, I will insert small sections with footage of a trip I had to Wollongong, which is 2.5 hours drive south from where I live, so south of Sydney. My youngest son Asger plays football, and he was going down there for a football game, and we took the opportunity, and basically all the boys and families from the team took the opportunity to go down the day before for the team to have a bit of bonding team time, and also a dinner with the team, and also for us parents to have a dinner together. That was a lovely weekend, beautiful weather, beautiful sunshine, a bit windy, but you will get to see a lot of sea, blue skies and waves, so I hope you will enjoy that. You can find me on the internet as Mindful Making on Instagram and on Facebook, and I am Mindful Making AU on Ravelry, and I also have an Etsy shop of that name. I am Jane, and I am Danish, and I moved to Sydney, Australia 8 years ago with my family of 5, so my husband and 3 children. Well, young people, 21, 18 and 15. So they are not small children anymore. I've taken you outside today. So we are sitting here at our terrace, sort of a little backyard garden, and over here this is my left shoulder, so you will see that's actually a water feature, but there's no water, so it's just a feature here. And then I think over my right shoulder you can see some sunflowers. They are almost bursting, and to bring beautiful yellow flowers very soon. My daughter planted those and started off from seeds, so it's good to see them grow. They do look like they need a bit of water, and we are hoping for some rain, and it should be raining today, but we haven't had any so far. I'm just looking over to see. It is a bit dark, so I hope I can record this before it starts pouring down. I have actually recorded the full podcast once, but then I discovered that it hadn't, the camera hadn't run on my phone because of it was running out of storage space. So I have talked to the camera once before. I'm not saying this will be better, but of course nobody can judge because the first take isn't available. So let's just jump into talking about Cyrissa. Cyrissa is the name of the new design that I have released, a new shawl design. It is mainly garter stitch, and then with a border of lace, and then finishing off with a picot edge. It is a asymmetrical triangular shape, and now I just need to turn it around for you to see the right side. So it's an asymmetrical shape, and the asymmetrical shape is generated by short row shaping, so there are edges moving in through here the shawl. And it is worked with two qualities of yarn. So there is a sock yarn, which is a speckled beautiful yarn, and then a mohair, a silk mohair. And in one side of the shawl, you can see that the mohair is much more prominent than sort of the main yarn, which is a sock yarn or fingering weight yarn, towards the other side. Which is longer. That's where you have most of the turns, and that would be where you have the broader edges of the main yarn, the sock yarn. The lace pattern, if you can see that, is it's a 4-row repeat. There's only 4 rows of purling in this shawl, but they are fairly long, so you will get the pleasure of some purl stitches. And then it's finished off with a picot edge. The shawl starts in the middle here, and then there are then increases placed at the edge here, and then along these two increase lines. So that's how it's constructed. The yarn is this beautiful yarn. That's the sock yarn, the main color, and with the mohair. This yarn is hand dyed here in Australia. It's dyed by Michelle, and she has the company Dyeing to Knit. So this is her card, and this yarn is called Almond Nougat. It is a 4-ply sock yarn with 85% merino and 15% nylon. It runs 400 meters per 100 grams. And this is called Dusty Rose. So it's a combination of mohair and mulberry silk, and it's a very subtle nudie rose. So these two together, and I was just looking at well, I got to know dyeing to knit at the Bendigo Wool Show, or the wool show here. That was in August, I think, which was online. Usually it's an event in Bendigo in Victoria, but this was online. So I followed some of the presentations, and there were sort of a showcasing of different dyers, and Michelle was there with her colors, and I just loved immediately those subtle colors and speckles, but beautiful tonal speckles. So all her colors are just like that, you know, very very harmonious in a subtle color palette. She is much better at describing it herself. So here's Michelle, and you can see all her lovely yarn.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. I'm the dyer behind Dyeing to Knit. The lovely Jane has designed the Serissa Shawl using my yarn. I did a test knit for Jane. I made a smaller version, mainly because I broke my wrist and I haven't really had a lot of stock in the shop. Mine is done in this colorway here, which is the nude, which has a slightly pink a pink beige with, sorry, I got the wrong one, with Almond Nougat. That was mine. Jane's version is in Almond Nougat in the main with Dusty Rose. I only have one of that one at the moment, so but I can dye that up if you'd like to let me know. Just some pairings that I love. This is pink clay. I've got two of those with heather, would go really well. If you like blues, I've got Just Denim, which could either go with a French grey, or I've also got Just Denim on the mohair, as well as this colorway, which will work with all of those, which is called Wrangler. That's part of my denim range. Then this is a lovely rust and grey called Tin Man. I've paired that also with the French grey. Then moving into kind of like the purpley tones. This is a purple and grey with French grey mohair. This is a purple and pink, if you love the pink, so it's one of my favourites. I've knit this and it's a beautiful colourway. It could also go with the grapevine mohair. Then I've paired grapevine with silky. They work beautifully together. And then I've also got this one in pink and purple. You could use either of those mohairs. This is called Fairy Floss, the pink, and grapevine again. So a few combinations there, but if you contact me through the contact page on the website, www.dyingtoknit.com.au, I'm happy to take custom orders. Thanks very much. See you later.
Aren't they beautiful, her colors? It's just a very intricate, soft color palette she works with. Michelle lives in Perth, which is on the western coast of Australia. There's 6 hours flight to get to there, so it's a long way, 3-hour difference here from Sydney. So if you want to buy some of her yarn, please do so. Please support local Australian dyers if you are from here down south. Her website is called dyingtoknit.com.au, so check it out. If you are from the Northern Hemisphere, maybe, and you're interested in the yarn, maybe, you know, talk to a few friends if you should order something together so you can share the postage costs. The shawl is very easy to wear, so either as a sort of more like a scarf type thing, or around your shoulders for a summer night out, and wrap it around here. And if you have a brooch or a pin, you can just pin it up here to your shoulder, and it would sit nicely, just like a little wrap around your shoulders. It is light and squishy, and I think, you know, with the plain garter stitch, it's a very simple knit. So in these times of challenges in the world, sometimes we just need to escape into a refuge where we don't need to think too much, and we can just let our hands work on their own in a nice rhythm and relax into it. And this is certainly a shawl that would allow you to do that. Plenty of garter stitches, and with that sort of plain structure that is only broken between the different qualities of the yarn, and then just adding that bit of female detail or feminine detail of the lace border towards the end. I am very happy with this. You can also just wrap it around like a, you know, scarf and be nice and warm during winter, or around the shoulders on a summer night like I showed you before. So it's very, very easy to wear. So I hope you enjoy it. It is available on Ravelry, on Mindful Making AU. So please share the love, give it some hearts, and maybe put it in your favorite or buy so you can knit one yourself. It is time to start maybe thinking about Christmas presents, so this would for sure be an excellent Christmas present for somebody you love. So that is available. And the name Cyrissa, you might think, where did that come from? And when I saw the yarn, and let me just show you this gorgeous yarn again when it's knitted up. Find a decent piece. So you can see those speckles in different tonal colors. When I saw those, I was just thinking about a snow rose. So I googled snow rose, and then it happened to be sort of a popular name for a Japanese sort of bonsai plant, and the family name is Cyrissa. So that's the name, Cyrissa, the Serissa Shawl. The pattern is available in English and in Danish. So I hope you like it, and that you will support the release of this one. Share pictures, and you know, on Instagram, share it with family and friends. That would I would be very appreciative of that. Thank you so this was my ongoing or work in progress. This was the project that I was working on at that time. I won't talk too much about this. This will be next in line, shawl design to be released, hopefully. It is yarn from Hannah from rosehipisland.com, and on Instagram she is rosehipchick. So this yarn is dyed by Hannah at rosehipisland.com.au. No, she's just rosehipisland.com. It is a base with merino and 10% linen. beautiful drapey soft yarn, beautiful colors as well, and this design is a collaboration with her, so she has donated the yarn. I will talk much more about it next time when hopefully there is a pattern, because I did it again. I knit it and I have to go back and write the pattern. I hope this is the last time I do that. I want to write the pattern, knit it, and be over and done with it, because it's quite annoying to go back and to write it afterwards when you have had the pleasure of knitting it. But I was just so carried away by the knitting, so I just kept on. More on this in the next podcast. I know that you have seen this shawl before, because this is a Solidago shawl that I launched last month, and the last episode of the podcast was all about the Solidago. I just want to say thank you so much for all the positive comments I've received, and especially thanks to all of you who bought the pattern on Ravelry, and also who have favorited and put it in your queue on Ravelry. Thank you so much. Designing knitwear is a labor of love, and when you put out a pattern, it's with a great deal of vulnerability, because you don't know how well it will be received, if it will be accepted by you out there. So it is a bit nerve-wracking, but and your positive comments just makes the world of a difference to as encouragement and just an appreciation of what I do. So thank you so much for that. It makes me want to do more, so thank you so much. So just to recap, this shawl is designed with a yarn that is a 90% Polworth, 10% silk blend. It is dyed by, again, an Australian hand dyer, Katrina from Pirate Pearl Yarns. The color here is honey. It's a beautiful mustardy yellow. She has a lot of different colors, and the yarn is beautiful. It's nice and warm. I think this is more a autumn, winter, spring type shawl. The Cyrissa is too, but I think this could go as over the shoulder for a summer barbecue as well. It's almost starting to rain, so if I talk fast, it's because I want to get it done before it really starts pouring. But anyway, let's move on to other finished objects. With the extra time I've had, I thought that I could do a test knit. And just to see how somebody else writes pattern, and I saw the beautiful, she is called Wombie Knits, I think, on Instagram, and she had this, and apologize for, I need to weave in the ends, but she has designed this cute little baby jumper. Raglan construction, and with a nice simple cable pattern in the front, and I thought I would want to support her and test this design for her. It's a great little jumper, and I can't remember the planned date of pattern release, but I will notify you when it is available. It's a cute little project. I have used this is a very old stash yarn, and this is and somebody will laugh, and some may remember this yarn when it was in the shops, and it's probably been discontinued for 25 years or so, 20 maybe. So it's called Sønderborg garn, Trunde. It's a Danish yarn, and the skeins are just 25 grams. It is a 100% merino superwash, 475 meters per 100 gram. You wouldn't be able to find this in any shop, but I have buckets. And this is a beautiful deep burgundy color. I won't go into details, color number and anything, but very suitable for kids wear. So that is the one that I've used for this little jumper. Very nice pattern indeed. So if you're interested in baby knitting, keep an eye out for that. When talking about simple knits and the need to make something where sort of the brain can get a rest from all the challenges, you know, the news and the things that are happening in the world, and sometimes you just need something that is very simple. And with that in mind, I sort of turned into sock knitting as well. That's sort of a simple project that is not difficult and easy to carry. So I have made a pair of very standard, no fuss 2x2 ribbing socks. It's a reinforced heel and a heel flap gusset type heel construction. It is from the recipe that my husband's grandma did. It's not a recipe or pattern, it's just how she made them, and I continue that tradition. They sit very well on the foot because of the ribbing, and they haven't been washed or blocked or anything. So I think on my wish for Christmas would be sock blockers, so I can show you very nicely blocked and professionally presented socks. But they are just very simple 2x2 ribbing on the top and a stockinette under the foot. These are a size 38-39 European sizes. It fits me. I have 64 stitches, and I've worked on a 2.25 millimeter needle. These will go in the gift box for Christmas, and it will go up north. It's too hot here for woolen socks in our summer here. Works in progress is another sock, so it's a half a finished object, and here is how far I've come on the second sock. So it is, I'm working it cuff down. I think the next pair I will try to make one that is toe up and with a fish lips kiss heel. I think we should try and say that after a few glasses of wine. Fish, kiss lips. Fish, lips, kiss, heel. Ah, wouldn't that be fun at the next party? Just put it as a game. Anyway, so these are man size, approximately 42, I hope, in size. Still the 2x2 ribbing, same way. This is 72 stitches, and again on a 2.25 millimeter needle. And I have tried to knit on the 9-inch needles, circular sock needles. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. But I've actually bought, I think, 5 sizes, so 5 or 6 needles that I can't use. I can't get my fingers to work that way. So I have now bought the smaller sizes of needles as a fixed circular, 80 centimeters, 32 inches. So I will do magic loop when I do socks. That works much better for me. The yarn is this yarn from Lang Yarns, Jawohl. It is a deep charcoal grey. I'll put in the description box below the exact number because I don't have the label here. But it's a beautiful deep, dark, sort of mild grey. And in here there is, you would think there is some solid things in here. You would think it was a cardboard cylinder, but it's actually thread. So you can repair the socks should you get a hole from wear. That's very clever. So in the gifts I would add these small bobbins of thread so the recipient can repair if they sort of wear into a hole or something, or moths attack them. So that's quite clever, I think. So you always have something that is the same color as your socks. Very clever, Lang Yarns. I like. Here in Australia, I have bought these at Sunswan Yarn in Melbourne. I ordered it, online, of course. I like. I like it. It's just a very. I'm using the word simple again, but it's just a workhorse of a sock yarn. Nothing fancy, just a regular, all-purpose sock yarn. So it's good. And you know, that's basically what's on my needles. What has happened in the life here in our little family. So there's no drama. But since the last podcast, which I think was released 25th of September, and we are now 18th of October, a lot of things have happened, which is quite amazing. So I out of work for 2.5 months, but I got a new job and I started this Monday. So given, come from full-time at home with all the hours in the day, of course I had to apply for different jobs. That was my job. But there for sure were more time than normal to do my knitting projects. But now I am at work again. It's a job as a project manager at Department of Education in New South Wales. So it's quite a new area for me because I've worked in health. I'm a pharmacist of background. I work with clinical trial management and for the pharmaceutical industry, and lately with education and information to GPs here in Australia. So it's a very different field, and this week was just full on. Meeting new people. And as we are still working from home, meeting new people was meeting them virtually, so via screen. And then also getting to know sort of what is the project about, what is Department of Education doing. And I guess the good thing is that we're having kids who have gone through the school system. You have a knowledge, at least from a user or from a parent perspective. But of course, I don't know anything about the back end and the government procedures and so forth. So it's also about professional learning for teachers. So, which is very interesting. So it's good so far, and I'm happy. But I was very, very tired every day during last week. But this break that I've had of 2 and a bit months has just opened up for so many opportunities. It's just like opening a box or opening the lid of the box, and suddenly it's just flowing with energy and new possibilities. And I'm so grateful for having had that break and some of the opportunities that has come to me. And some of them are knitting related, and I can't share with you what they are, but I'm very excited, and I probably can't share as we move on before sort of later. I can share much more about what it is, but I'm just happy, and it's just like turning on the switch or putting the plug in, and then suddenly, everything is just possible. So a lot of great things have happened in that break. And I think I've had the opportunity to launch the Solidago shawl, the Serissa shawl, and a new thing coming on. And I will continue in that vein of designing, and I want to do much more of that. So keep your eyes peeled, and there will be call for tests and eventually release notifications and stuff. So I'm super excited. I'm happy and appreciative of just having a break and just shifting gear, shifting environment. It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. So I just feel lucky, very lucky. It's good. I'm again looking around to see if there's anything that I missed, and of course there is, and I will remember it after the podcast, and I'll say, I should have said that. My daughter is studying for her final exams. We have a plane coming over again. Her first exam is on Tuesday, the 20th of October, and then she will finish all her exams by the 28th of October. So we will have a bit of celebration here at home. We are moving into more summer months, so that would be lovely to dip in the pool and early morning runs because it's too warm during the day. It's been a lovely spring, and we're so lucky. And for you who are watching from the Northern Hemisphere, it's I think you are stepping into the more woolly weather, if I could put it like that, into the autumn, into more dark grey, but where you can sort of use all your woolen garments and hats and scarves and gloves and mittens. And sometimes I bit envy that, you know, it's, you have to rock up in all your woolen jumpers and everything, because it's cold. But again, but on the other hand, it's also lovely with light and sunshine. So the difference about living on each side of the earth, there would always be sunshine somewhere, every day. Okay, I think I'm moving into sort of more the philosophic thoughts, so I might leave it at that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and send me a comment if there's something you want to hear more about or any questions. I would love to hear from you. That interaction with you is the best thing ever. That makes it worth doing, to engage with you. So please write comment either here or on my Instagram profile, and also share some love for the Serissa Shawl on Ravelry. You can also find the shawl on Etsy. I have uploaded the patterns are available for download and purchase on Etsy as well, if you don't use Ravelry. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have got some knitting done and have enjoyed this time together. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.